DreAllDay.com.
Now tuned into the show where you learn the discipline to show up day after day, to do the work, the confidence to put yourself out there boldly and authentically, and the mental toughness to continue showing up, doing the work, putting yourself out there even when the success you've expected to achieve has yet to be achieved. And on top of all this, you get a huge dose of personal initiative, which is the go-getter energy that moves any one of us, including yourself, to go and make things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. And then we put all this together into a series of frameworks, approaches, insights, strategies, and techniques all underneath the umbrella of one unifying philosophy that is called Work on Your Game. My name is Dre Baldwin, also known as DreAllDay, and welcome to the show. And today's topic is how to stop living vicariously through other people. So let me tell you where this concept comes from. First of all, let me make sure everybody understands what the word vicarious even means. I want to make sure I'm not going over anybody's head here. And let me get a definition. I didn't even pull a definition from my notes here. But the definition of vicarious is experienced or felt by, empathy with, or imaginary participation in the life of another person. That's a very good definition, which explains exactly what I'm talking about here. I'm going to add that to my show notes, so just in case I ever use this subject again, I will have that definition. Let me give you that definition again. And when you understand the definition, you'll understand how people tend to do this a lot. Experienced or felt by empathy with or imaginary participation in the life of another person. What I'm explaining to you here today, what I am beseeching you to do, is to not do this. Do not live vicariously through other people, even if you like them. Do not live vicariously through them. Now, understand something. On one level, everything I say in this episode will be an exercise in futility for some. Why? Because if my words land on the ears of a person who lives vicariously through other people, and that's pretty much the only way you or that person lives, they're not going to hear anything that I say here today. You'll hear it, but you won't adhere to it. On the other hand, the things that I'm going to say will be music to the ears of others who are listening to this, because it's exactly what you need to hear, and maybe you already agree with. So it's all about how much we are buying and investing into what living vicariously through others means. It's how much we are buying and investing into what happens in other people's lives, often people that maybe we know about. These are people usually referred to as celebrities in the athletic or entertainment or even political spaces. And the point for you here today is for you to not live your life through these people's situations, actions, outcomes, successes, or failures, even if you may be a fan of, a customer of, a supporter of, and a follower of these individuals. And today I'm going to explain to you exactly why this is. Point number one, topic once again is how to stop living vicariously through other people. Number one, you must see the person in the mirror as the star of your life's movie. The biggest star in the movie of your life is you. Not your favorite singer, not your favorite politician, not your favorite sports team or athlete, and not anybody else. Not your favorite influencer, even if I'm your favorite influencer. I'm glad to be, but the biggest star in your movie needs to be you. Okay, you only get to live one movie in your life, and that is the movie of your everyday behavior, your everyday actions, and the subsequent outcomes that come from those behaviors and actions. You cannot live another person's life no matter how much you follow their life, how much of a fan you are, and maybe even when you're inspired by them. There are people who I can draw inspiration from looking at what they do, but I can't live their life, and they are never going to be a bigger star in my movie than I am. And you need to look at life the exact same way. You can just take that sentence that I just said, write it down, and you say it. And you're talking about yourself. I see this happen a lot, specifically because of my personal perspective. I see this happen a lot in the black community. I see black people get really excited when some black person or some person who's claiming to be black, like Kamala Harris or Colin Kaepernick, they get really excited when some black person gets some level of success in a space that also has some white people in it, because there are a lot of black people who have been taught to be racial idolaters. Basically, they make race the most important thing about themselves. And when they see somebody else who is black achieving something amongst white people, they're like, well, this is a win for us because it's a win for black people in a space where white people usually are the winner. To give you an example of this, some of you may have noticed Beyonce won a Grammy Award for a country music album. I think it was in early 2025. She won a Grammy Award for her country music album. Now, I didn't hear the country music album, but from the people who I heard from who do actually listen to country music consistently, the album was not very well received by country music fans. But because Beyonce is Beyonce, she ends up winning a Grammy Award. We know that awards are all very Political is not necessarily about who has the best music. And again, music is art, so it's extremely subjective. There's no such thing as the best art. There's no such thing because there's no objective measurement of it. So Beyonce wins this Grammy Award, and I saw a whole lot of black people getting all excited about this as if this was some type of accomplishment for black people, Beyonce winning the Grammy Award. Bullshit. No, it's not. I'm black. What does Beyonce winning the Grammy Award do for me or for you? Nothing. Beyonce winning the Grammy Award does something for Beyonce, does something for her company, her family, her manager, her husband, her kids, maybe the people in her inner circle, but it doesn't do anything for you, even if you like Beyonce. I like Beyonce's R&B stuff. I never heard her country music and don't plan on listening to it, but Beyonce winning an award does not do anything for me. Even an artist that I like. Who's an artist that I like? Let's say I like Jay-Z. If Jay-Z wins an award, what the hell is that doing for me? I'm glad Jay-Z made the album because I like the music, but him winning an award does not change my situation at all, nor do I feel like I won because Jay-Z won. I don't give a fuck what Jay-Z won. What's it doing for me? What did I win? All right, is Jay-Z coming to clap for me when I win an award? No, then I don't give a fuck if he wins. That's the way I look at it. All right, so what I'm saying is, that's my point here. All right, another person cannot be the star in your movie. If they're the star in your movie, you're living vicariously through them. Do not live vicariously through Beyonce or Donald Trump or anybody else you like. Again, like them if you want to like them. Be a fan if you want to be a fan. You can even buy their shit if you want to buy their shit. Go to their concert if you so choose. But the biggest star in your movie must always be you. That's my point. Again, I like some Beyonce music, but the star of my movie is who? All of you know right now, me. And the star of your movie is who? You. Okay, so the star of my movie is never going to be Beyonce or Jay-Z or anybody else. You need to look at yourself, look at your life the exact same way. You need to be a player and not a spectator in your own life. Too many people become spectators for all the wrong reasons. One of those reasons being that you believe in the potential of other people more than you believe in your own potential. This is a big problem. I wrote about this in my book called Work on Your Game. You can get that book by going to workonyourgamebook.com. The question that I posed in that book at the heading of this section is, are you a bigger fan of other people or of yourself? Who are you a bigger fan of? I remember I used to tell basketball players this all the time. I used to tell, when I was making basketball videos on YouTube exclusively, my first 10 years online, I would say to some of the basketball players, like, some of you believe in Derrick Rose and Kyrie Irving and Steph Curry and LeBron James and Kobe Bryant more than you believe in your fucking selves. All right, you wonder why you can't make the basketball team. You don't believe in yourself. You will go on the internet and defend Kobe Bryant for hours against nameless, faceless people who you have never met, but you don't defend yourself at the playground when somebody laughs at you and tells you that you can't play. Why are you surprised with the outcomes that you're getting or the lack of results that you have? You don't believe in yourself. And guess what? Nobody else does either. The reason why a person like Beyonce or Kobe Bryant are looked at as stars because so many people believe in them. That's why they're stars. Because 1 million people believe in Beyonce. That's why she's looked at as a star. And the reason you may not be looked at as a star because nobody believes in you, including you. Why do you think you're getting the outcomes that you're getting? We got to fix that. You cannot become successful in life by believing in other people more than you believe in yourself. This is flawed logic and it's a failing strategy. Point number 2. Today's topic, once again, is stop living vicariously through other people. Perish this idea of collective success, quote unquote. I just spoke on this in the first point. When I mentioned that, I see a lot of black folks buying into this collective success nonsense. And even when I point it out, sometimes on social media, I'll point this stuff out and I'll get pushback from some black folks who will say stuff like, well, us being supportive of other black people, that's a way that we keep the black community strong and XYZ, these rationalizations for this is the reason I'm going to be a cheerleader for Beyonce because it's supportive of the black community. Bullshit. No, the fuck is not. That's you idolizing another person because there's nothing happening in your life that gets you as excited as what happens in Beyonce's life. So that's your excuse for cheering for Beyonce. Again, if you get a success, is Beyonce cheering for you? No? Okay, then why the fuck you cheering for her? This is a legitimate question. I want you to perish this idea of collective success. All right, just because somebody's from your neighborhood, or they're the same religion as you, or they went to the same school as you, or they're the same race as you, or they're from the same country that you're from, and they achieve success, that does not make you successful. Again, it doesn't mean you can't be happy for them, and it doesn't mean you can't take pride in the accomplishment. Let's say you're from India and somebody from India makes it in something and you're happy because they're representing India. Cool, that's fine. But when you get done clapping for them, you still got to go back and do your work. All right, don't clap for them for too long that you don't get back to your work. Again, you can be happy about somebody else's success for whatever reason you want. Whatever reason you want to give to be happy for somebody else's success, be happy. If you're a fan of the LA Lakers and the Lakers win the championship, you can be happy that the Lakers won the championship because you like the Lakers. Okay? Maybe you think that helps the representation of your group or your city or whatever you think, whatever reason you want to give. Maybe it inspires you. Or it inspires your kids to go be successful, that they saw a person that quote unquote looks like them become successful. And I don't know where that came from. That's only become a thing in the last like 10 to 15 years that people say, well, I need to see somebody who looks like me be successful so I feel I can be successful. It's a bullshit frame. But again, in the last 10, 15 years, this has somehow become accepted. I don't accept it, but a lot of people have come to accept this. And again, makes no sense whatsoever, but whatever. That's not the topic, at least not today. I will address that at some time in the future, as I have in the past. So maybe you'll be inspired by this because Beyonce won the Grammy Award, okay? I don't give a damn what it does for you. If you didn't actually do it yourself and it's not going on your personal resume, it does not make the highlight reel of your life. This is what I want you all to understand. If your hometown sports team that you're a fan of wins the championship today, that should not be the most exciting thing that happened in your life today. It shouldn't be the most, actually, let me back up. It should not be the most progress generating thing that happened in your life today. You should have had something else you did today that generated progress in your life other than your hometown sports team winning the championship. Why? Because your hometown sports team winning the championship does not advance your life in any way, shape, or form unless you happen to work for the team. If you're part of the organization, then cool. All right, take it. But if you're not part of the organization, the Lakers winning the championship ain't doing anything for you. Therefore, it can't be the number one thing you did today. Can't be your biggest achievement of the year. That's ridiculous. Remember what I told you in the first point. You need to be the star of your own movie. There are co-stars, such as the people that you watch, that you listen to, that you're a fan of. None of them can ever be the main star in your life. All right, so if you're a basketball player, you like LeBron, LeBron can be a supporting cast member in the movie of your life because watching LeBron do his thing motivates and inspires you to go work on your game and play better and go do your thing on the court. But the star of the movie has still got to be you. If LeBron's the star of your movie, then that explains everything about your lack of progress. Because you ain't the star in his movie. I guarantee you that. Guarantee you ain't the star in Beyonce's movie. Guarantee you ain't the star in Donald Trump's movie. They're the star in their own movies. They never even considered you. Even if they know you, they never considered you for the co-starring role or the star role or anything close to it. They're the star and they're taking up all the air in the room. Who's the star of your movie? Is it you? Should be. Ask yourself that question anytime you find yourself becoming too enamored with someone who's not you. Okay, simple as that. This concept is often sold by the very people who market and promote celebrities. There's a reason why a million people believe in Beyonce, because there's a whole team of people who are tasked with getting people like you and everybody else to believe in Beyonce. That's called marketing. We talked about marketing a lot in the last 2 episodes. Part of the marketing of Beyonce is getting you or Taylor Swift or Jay-Z or whoever, Kanye West, whoever you like. There's a whole team of people whose very job is to get you to see and hear that person all the time so that you start believing in them and you forget that you even exist because you're paying so much attention to them and their situation. Again, this is called marketing. This is the reason why in Western society we have these stars and these celebrities and we want to look at what they were wearing on a red carpet and the tabloids go find them going to get Starbucks and taking pictures of them in their sweatpants. And why people want to know about this? Because this is just human nature. Human nature is so designed that humans will always gather around a magnetic personality and just follow that person to the ends of the earth. And I'm not proposing that we change human nature because human nature ain't changing. What I'm proposing is that you don't fall victim to this human nature. You need to go against your natural inclination to basically put your life on hold while you pay attention to what everybody else is doing. All right, that's your natural inclination. I'm suggesting you not do that. Most people, that's what they do. Most people are more excited about their favorite athlete or entertainer or politician than they are about themselves. I'm suggesting that you not be like most people. All right, how many times have you heard me say that and how many different frames? That's because it's a principle of success in life is the opportunities are always in the opposites. Look around what the masses of people are doing. The opportunity is in doing the opposite of that. Doesn't even matter what it is. The masses of people follow some celebrity or famous person and they live their life through that celebrity or famous person. You can tell by looking at the internet and how vehemently they will argue to defend some famous person that they don't even know. And then you look at their actual life offline and they ain't doing shit. Because all their excitement comes from what somebody else does. Don't be this person. So, as I told you, there's a whole industry of people whose very job is to keep the celebrity's name top of mind to you so that all of your attention, all of your resources, all your focus, all your energy, and even your money and your time, your 5 forms of investment, time, money, attention, energy, and focus, all go towards them. And that's the reason why they're a star. Again, Beyonce has millions of people out there who are more interested in her than they are interested in themselves. That's the reason why she's a celebrity. Donald Trump, Taylor Swift, Jay-Z, LeBron James, name anybody else famous, they all got it. They got a bunch of people who are more interested in them than the people are even interested in themselves. That's the reason that they're stars. If I'm a person who can make money, let's say I'm Beyonce's PR manager or whatever. If I can make money every time Beyonce sells music, okay, then again, we'll keep using her as an example. And my job is to get you, one of the masses of her fans, more and more excited about Beyonce, paying attention to Beyonce, talking about Beyonce, arguing about Beyonce, being part of the Beehive, and buying tickets to her concerts, streaming her album, because that makes Beyonce money. And because I'm part of Beyonce's team, I make money. So I am incentivized to get you to keep thinking that way. And this is the point that I want you all to understand. What I'm telling you here today, most people will not tell you this. And by the way, let me also tell you that if you ever become the star, all right, don't tell your fans this because it's going to turn them off. Okay? I happen to be in a line of work where I can tell you all this directly. My job here is to move you to go make things happen. You can like me and appreciate my stuff, but I'm not here to make myself the star of your movie. I don't want to be the star of your movie. You need to be the star of your movie. I will help you be the star. Okay? That's what I do. But if you ever become a Beyonce or a Taylor Swift, don't go preaching this to your audience because it's going to make your audience second guess themselves. All right, don't do it. All right, just let them keep idolizing you because that helps you make money. You never heard Beyonce say anything like this, have you? You think she's aware of it? I think on some level she is. I don't know about Beyonce's intellect. I haven't heard her talk too much. But I think she's aware of it. Could she explain it? Probably not. And should she explain it? The answer is hell no. If I was on Beyonce's team and she was thinking about saying something like what I'm saying here today, I would say, excuse me, Miss Beyonce, don't do that. All right, your biggest fans, the people you make the most money from, they're going to stop helping you make money if you tell them this reality. Just let them keep believing what they want to believe. Let them keep idolizing you. All right, that's how we keep this gravy train going, Miss Beyonce. All right, just sing your songs. All right, don't do anything else. Just sing. Just sing and smile. That's all I need you to do. All right, the whole point here, folks, is if I benefit financially from this process, I'm going to keep it going. Anything I need to do, again, if I'm Beyonce's marketing manager, if I need to make you believe that supporting Beyonce is your way of supporting black people, I'm going to make you believe that. Even though it's bullshit. If that's all I need to do to make some money, I'm going to do it. Because I'm in the business of making Beyonce a superstar. If I'm in that position. You get what I'm saying? And by the way, she has people in this position. All right, this ain't just because Beyonce is just some God-given talent that all of a sudden people are just naturally attracted to her. There is some natural attraction, but a lot of this is manufactured. And I'm using Beyonce as an example here. This is not a diss to Beyonce. So any Beyonce idolizers out there, don't come over to me with some bullshit. I'm just using her as an example. You can swap in your favorite famous person. The same thing applies. Athlete, entertainer, politician, influencer, whatever. And anything I can do to make you believe that supporting Beyonce is something that is positive for your life and makes you feel like a winner, I'm going to do it. And when you turn 75 years old, you, not her, but you, and you have achieved next to nothing because you put all your resources into Beyonce, now I've drained tens of thousands of dollars out of your bank account by getting you to invest in Beyonce's success. I'm happy, Beyonce's happy, and you are nobody. All right, is that what you want? Because that's the way it's designed to work, by the way, in case you didn't know. Point number 3. Today's topic, once again, is stop living vicariously through other people. Anything that you expect of somebody else, put that same expectation on yourself. Simple as that. Anything you expect or demand of someone else, or anything that you would critique someone else for not doing or for doing, hold yourself to that exact same level of expectation. I used to tell myself this all the time as an athlete when I was playing basketball. At that time when I was playing, I used to watch a lot of basketball, and I had strong opinions about how I saw other players playing. When I saw other players, other teams, I would watch certain games, I would see outcomes, and I would see certain things that players were doing, and I would have pointed critiques and pointed ways of advice, so to speak. I didn't know these people, but just advice I'm thinking in my head. If I had a chance to talk to that player, if I could talk to Kobe, I would tell him this, this, and this. If I could talk to that player, I would tell him that. If I could talk to this guy I'm watching playing some 16-year-old rec league game, I would say this to this player. Anytime I felt myself doing that, having a strong opinion about what another player was doing or not doing, or wasn't doing well enough, or just their overall game, I would always check myself by asking myself the following question. All right, you can write this question down and use it. Am I holding myself to the same standard to which I'm holding this person? I would always ask myself that question. Am I holding myself to the same standard that I'm watching Michael Jordan play and I think this? Or am I telling myself the same thing I'm thinking about Michael Jordan? Am I telling myself to do the same thing that I'm saying I'm mad that I didn't like the way LeBron played last night because he did A, B, C? Do I hold myself to that same accountability standard? Everything that I say Kobe should have did in the game yesterday, do I tell myself to do that in the games? And am I fucking doing it? If the answer was not an immediate and clear yes, then it immediately will wake me up and tell me to, instead of getting mad at LeBron because he didn't shoot the ball enough in the game, hold myself accountable to shoot the ball more in the game. All right, I'm mad at LeBron because he didn't score 30. My last game, I only had 15. So how am I going to talk about LeBron? See, this is the way you hold yourself accountable. Anytime you catch yourself talking about what somebody else is supposed to do, ask yourself, am I telling myself to do that? Am I holding myself to that same standard? If not, hold yourself to that standard. And when you start living up to it, then you will be credible enough to hold somebody else to the standard. But you got to build your credibility first. And your credibility starts with yourself. It starts with you looking in the mirror, not what anybody else thinks about you. Your credibility starts with you holding yourself accountable to the things that you think and say to yourself. Then you are qualified to hold other people accountable. Because if you're trying to hold people to a standard to which you're not holding yourself, then you are out of integrity. What does integrity mean? It means everything is aligned. It means the things that you think and the things that you say and the things that you do and the direction of your outcomes are all going in the same direction. That's what integrity means. When you're thinking and saying one thing but doing a different thing, you are out of integrity. So if you're telling people be on time, never show up late, always be prepared for what you're doing, and then you're showing up late and you're never on time and you're never prepared, you are out of integrity. You don't have any credibility with yourself, let alone anybody else. Because other people might not know that you're doing this, but you know when you're out of integrity. That's why self-accountability matters so much. That's why I mentioned the mirror here in today's episode. That's why I have a book called The Mirror of Motivation. Not me motivating you, it's the mirror of motivation, not the window of motivation, it's the mirror of motivation. You can get that book for free by going to mirrorofmotivation.com. So refer back to the first point of this episode. Who's the star of your movie? It should never be anybody who's not you. That means any standard to which you would hold any other human being, make sure you are living up to that same standard yourself. Then when you are actually doing it, you have the credibility to hold other people accountable. You get it? Even better, when you are living up to certain standards, those people will come seeking you out for accountability. You won't even have to let them know that you're doing it because it's going to be obvious. You see, those of you who listen to my material, consume my material on a regular basis, you could be relatively new. You could have came across me 3 months ago, or you could have came across me 10 years ago. If you consume my material on a regular basis, you have a pretty good idea of if you wanted my help on certain subjects, you know that I could probably give you some answers. You know which subjects, based on your perception of me, that I could probably help you with, not because I told you that, hey, I'm an expert on A, B, C, D, E. It's because you see me doing it. You hear me talking about it. You see the way that you see the results I produce, at least what you know about, you see the way I present myself. So you got a pretty good idea of if you had questions in certain areas, you know you could come to me for it because you know that I am doing the thing in those areas. Not just because I'm talking about it, because I'm doing it. And again, what you're actually about, ladies and gentlemen, is obvious to other people. You don't have to announce it. You don't have to have a podcast. You can just live it. If you're living it, it's going to be obvious. Let's recap today's class, which is how to stop vicariously living through other people. Again, vicarious is defined as experienced or felt by empathy with or imaginary participation in the life of another person. Number one, you must see the person in the mirror as the star of your movie. Nobody else. I don't care who it is or how great they are. The star of your movie is always you. Number two, perish this idea of collective success, meaning somebody else succeeding does not make you successful unless you happen to be part of their actual circle and you're actually working in their business. Then yes, you're part of it. If you're the general manager for a sports team and they win the championship, great. But if you're a fan buying tickets, no. And number three, anything you expect of someone else, put that same expectation on yourself. This is the way you hold yourself accountable. It doesn't mean that you can't have expectations of other people. It just means whatever expectations you have of other people, you better have lived up to the expectation yourself. And if you haven't, you're out of integrity, you're out of alignment, and you need to be quiet. And get yourself to live that way, then you can check other people. If you ain't checking yourself, you can't check anybody else. All that said, folks, workonyourgameuniversity.com. Work with me directly, have me as your direct coach. Get this mindset piece. set the way it needs to be. Then we can get into having the right game plan, systematize this, and make sure it's implemented properly. I will coach you along the way through this whole process. Go to workonyourgameuniversity.com. Work on your game. Dre, all